You know that feeling that you get when something needs to change, whether it's my health or my finances or the way that I'm spending my time, or maybe even I don't know what it is that I want to change yet, but something just feels off. Like I really want something in my life to be different. And I know for me, I crave clarity and certainty. So I immediately start thinking about everything that I want to understand about the change that I'm anticipating or maybe imagining, and what it's going to take, and whether it's going to be worth it, and all of the steps in between. And what I've learned is that clarity doesn't come from just having it all figured out. I can spend lots of time and energy trying to figure out all of the parts of the plan, and I love plans, but rarely does life ever go according to the plan. So when I am spending so much time and energy on trying to figure it all out, I'm actually losing the opportunity to take even a small step forward that would help me get the clarity from that experience. There's a big difference between knowing something and doing something. And that's where clarity comes from, is actually taking the action. This reminds me in my own life of the GPS. And I loved when I first got a GPS because I've struggled with directions and getting lost when I went to new places. And all the GPS needs is for you to put in where you are, or it knows where you are, and put in where it is that you want to go. And even though the GPS can map out that path for you, you still have to start moving. You have to get going in one direction or another before the GPS can give you additional guidance. And once you start moving, there's going to be detours along the way. Life happens, right? Maybe you're driving along and there's a sign that says there's a creek crossing. So you decide to take a different path than the one the GPS suggested. That actually happened to me recently. Or maybe you take a detour to go see a friend or something else that you want to do. The GPS isn't going to shame you for making a wrong turn or changing directions. It's just going to recalculate where you need to go next if you still want to go to the same destination that you originally put in. So that's kind of the point. Life is the same way. We can have an idea in mind of where we want to go, and we have to know where we are in order to know what direction we need to move to get to where we want to go. But it's not until we actually start moving that we get that feedback and we start to get more and more clarity around what to do next, and then what to do next, and so on. And for me, when I get in my head about it and trying to figure out all of the steps, I lack the clarity that I'm looking for. It's when I'm in physical movement that often helps me get clear. The ideas come that I'm just not able to access when I'm constantly ruminating on all of the what ifs or trying to plan or map out the perfect strategy. Not that those things aren't important, they are, but they're not the only piece. You've got to start moving faster and start taking the little steps towards whatever the changes that you're trying to create. And I think that the more I do that in any one area of my life, the more it translates to all the areas of my life. So when I think about how often this has shown up for me in physical movement, and exercise has been a big place for me where I have really gotten present and learned how to get out of my head and really into my body. And usually because whatever exercise I was doing, whether it was running or weights or yoga or whatever, it was challenging. And it took all of my attention and all of my focus to make sure that I was, moving one foot after another, and that my foot was planted firmly on the ground, or that I had the weights in the proper form so that I was doing whatever the movement was safely and also being effective. So often I think about physical challenges as kind of the gateway to creating change in other parts of my life. In the past couple months, I've really enjoyed doing a monthly challenge with a friend where we've had specific activities that we focused on each day, and kind of holding each other accountable as we went through that process and building that onto the fitness routine that I already had. But it helps to take me out of my head in those moments and get me into something that's a newer routine and challenge myself in different ways. So, what I've decided to do for January, because it is a time when a lot of people are focused on getting healthy, and there's, in my opinion, a lot of focus on all sorts of external results that aren't nearly as important as learning to trust yourself and showing up for ourselves and being willing to take that next step, move forward just in the direction that you want to go, and trust that the GPS of life is going to give you the feedback when there's a creek crossing and you decide that you want to, take the another path or some other feedback that you get that says you want to change course a little bit. So in January, I'm offering a 30-day program that will be really simple and focused on some strength movements, but with a core focus around building trust with your body and being really clear about investing in yourself as being the top priority. It's not about any sort of external measurement or goal. It is learning how to prioritize self-care and get back into connection with our body so that we're not always living in our heads and just trying to figure out all the things, but instead really feeling how balance feels in our body and how it feels to improve the strength that we have in our muscles and in our body. And I think that this will be something that is good for anyone, regardless of what your starting point is. I'm including some audios that I'm really excited about because it's the first time I'm doing that in conjunction with a monthly calendar. And it's really going to focus a lot on mindset. So if any of this resonates with you, if you are interested in joining for this 30-day program, there's a link for how to get more information in the description of this video. And I would love to see you there. So wherever you are in your own journey, I hope that you'll remember that just like the GPS, you've got to take the next step in order to get the feedback from life to create whatever change you want to create. And I got your back. If there's anything I can do to help support you, please let me know. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos and more encouragement like this one.